Hello guys, Aaron or Daybreak, and today this is going to be my Stamina Sorcerer build that I pulled the Emperor on in Cyrodiil. Now, as you can see here from the costume, we are in the Emperor's Regalia. This has been a achievement of mine that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Actually, ever since I started playing the game back in December of this year, so it's been about a year, long time coming. I finally decided to do it this week, and I pulled it on this build. I have a lot of experience on this build, so any questions or comments you have about any of the abilities, anything that this build can do, let me know in the comment section below. I'll answer it. Message me in game at the Sonin, and I'll put that all in the description. You guys can see it there. But basically, this is a two-handed and bow setup, running poisons, running Engine Guardian, running a couple other setups. I will give a shout out to someone though first, because I think that he came up with this combo. He did not come with the Engine Guardian in this set, but he did come up with the Spriggan's Alchemist combo, and that is Fangrush. Is he the first one to do it? I'm not sure, and I'm sure he's not, but he's the first one to publicize it. So I think that's in the Supernaut 2.0 build. I have not watched that build before, because I don't really watch his channel. I think I'm subscribed, but I don't really watch his channel at all. But I did see him playing around with it on stream. I took that and I was like, that sounds like, it's pretty good. Tried it out. It was pretty good. And then I was like, let's make it open world. So we put it into open world a little bit, and I tried out Engine Guardian, and I really loved it. And I'll give you some reasoning behind that as we get along into this video. Sorry. So let's check out and see what the stats are like. So the stats are, well, these are not buffed. No food here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so on the two-hander bar, we have 14k max magicka, 26.7k max health, 36.3k max stamina, 23.400 weapon damage, and 24% weapon crit, 15k physical and spell resistance, and 2342 crit resistance. We're also running the tower for increased max stam, and we are not a werewolf or a vampire. You can run vampire. If I were to run one of the boons, I would probably run vampire for the undeath passive, but that's just me. On the back bar here, we're going to have a little bit more resistances because we are running a defending bow. The crit resistance will be about 2600 if you run this right. I'll show you one of the pieces I do not have. I do not have an Engine Guardian piece. That could be Impin. I just didn't have enough time to get it before the reset of Hatteras. That way I could do this. But let's get into the item sets. Running the 5-piece Alchemist, 4 on the body, and 1 bow. The bow being defending, the Alchemist, 3 of these being heavy, 1 of these being, this should be light, this should not be medium, this should be light. So if you run this exact build, and you have Undaunted 9, which you should have anyways, or you'll get it soon. I would get it if I were you. I would get Undaunted 9 because it's really worth it, especially in PvP. Anyways, you go 3 heavy, so you get 3 heavy here, and you go 1 medium because, you go 1 light because this is a crafted set. So you go 1 light here, this is a small piece, and then you go 1 Spriggan's on the body because Spriggan's only comes in medium. This is also Impin. I have everything crafted in Impin, by the way. Impin is very, very good, especially in this meta. And then your Engine Guardian can be too heavy, which is mine's too heavy here, you see. And this completes my 5 heavy. So I get the 5 heavy bonus, and I get the 1 light, 1 medium bonus for the Undaunted passives, giving me a 6% stat increase. As you can see here, everything's enchanted with Stam, by the way. And this should be Impin. Like I said, I do not have the right piece here. If I had the right one, this would be Impin. And my crit resistance would go up to about 2600. Spriggan's jewelry, all robust with weapon damage. And a Spriggan's Greatsword sharpened. Make sure if it's the Spriggan's Wolfjaw or any Spriggan's two-hander here, the Greatsword's the better one. The Maul's not bad, and neither is the Battle Axe, but the Greatsword is definitely the best one. For the bigger heals of 5% damage, the normal stuff. But you make sure it's sharpened. Even if you have a Spriggan's Greatsword that's not sharpened, let's say you have one that's defending, do not use it over the Spriggan's Wolfjaw, the unique version that is a battle axe that's sharpened. Just make sure it's sharpened. And on the Clever Alchemist bow, we're running defending for a couple of reasons. I'll show you the skills, but all the skills on this bar are buffs, so we don't have any damage here. And with that being said, there's no reason for it to be a sharpened bow if we're not doing any damage to benefit from sharpened on that bow. We're also using increased cost and poison damage poisons, I guess, on both of these because you could run a weapon damage enchant here, but I found that poisons were very, very effective, so I'd rather have the poisons. Now let's go over why we're running these sets. Spriggans just for stamina, weapon damage, all that good stuff. The physical penetration to help with those heavy and medium armor targets that just have a little bit, a little bit of bulkiness to them. We can cut through their armor with the sharpened trait as well, and a little bit of CP. We have almost 11,000 penetration, so it's very nice. Really cuts through everything. Alchemist for very controlled and timed bursts. It's going to give you a lot of damage whenever you really need it, where you can kind of select when you need your damage and then use it all at once. And I want to show you about the controlled burst and exactly how you use that as well. And you may be wondering, Engine Guardian here, Aaron or Daybreak or whatever, you could use Veldreth or you could use Bloodspawn even or whatever, right? Why use Engine Guardian, man? It's so bad. Why would you do that? Or even one Crag, one Kina, something, Well, the fact here is that in open world, now this is a Cyrodiil build, this is not a dueling build, this is not a Imperial City Sewers build. While you could still use it for that, and you would have probably just as good as luck, or just as good of results out of the build. It's not meant for that. This is meant for Cyrodiil. Let's go ahead and cut off the health recovery because the health recovery as the One Piece is not really, it's whatever. It could be a lot better. When you're using the ability, you have a 10% chance to summon a Drummer Automaton to restore 1200 health stam or magicka every 0.5 seconds or 6.5 seconds. So this equates to about 13 to 14k resources, whichever one it procs off of. So 13k health, 13k stam, or magicka. Now with Stam Sorcerer, now this is a Stam Sword build, you can turn the magicka into stamina and the stamina into health. The thing here is that you can also use, the thing here with the Engine Guardian is, if it pops magicka, you're gonna be able to streak. You're gonna be able to get streaks, streaks that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Almost 2 streaks that you wouldn't be able to do. You can also get like 3 dark deals off of that, and that not only heals you, but it returns stamina as well. So you're using magicka to turn into health and stamina. So that's where Engine Guardian really benefits Stam Sword, in my opinion, because you can run. Because if you get the magicka, you can turn that into health and stamina, and if you get the stamina buff or whatever, or the stamina restore, you can roll dodge more, you can cast shuffle more, you can cast your buffs a little bit more. Not to mention if you get magicka, you can get crit surge, and even think about that. But you can also turn that stamina into vigors, into rallies, all that good stuff. So that's why I'm running it. The health is, it's whatever. It's not bad to have if you have full resources and you're going in on someone. If you have like full magic and stamina, or at least full stamina, it's not bad to get the health proc. That way you can't really die as easy. You can play a little bit dumb with it if it's pop like that. So let's Oh, by the way, I'm also running Tri-Stat food. This is what I'm running. I'm not running this. I'm running Tri-Stat food. I'm running Tri-Stat for extra dark deals. For extra dark deals and extra magicka pools. That way, whenever I'll have a bigger pool for this to fill up. Also, the potions that we're running are movability pots. I really, really recommend these. I'm carrying 2 tops on me right now. I'm carrying one with Major Expedition and one with Health. I'm running the Major Expedition ones to engage and disengage in fights or to catch up to people. I'm also running the health ones, the health and stamina with the movability, in case I'm kind of low on health, kind of I'm like 75% health or something like that. Need a little bit of health to make sure that I survive the next little bit or to survive in this next fight. I can pop that. Essence of Lingering Health, these are just for extremely long fights that are just going on forever and ever and ever. That's what these are for. So yeah, that goes over the all the consumables, I guess, right? Yeah. So let's go over the skills now, and I'll explain some things to you guys. My front bar, we've got crit rush, reverse slice, dizzying swing, streak, and rally. Burst heal. This is our bread and butter DPS. This is our widely used execute. It's a very fucking good ability. These two abilities are very, very good. This is our gap closer, and this is to engage and disengage in fights. And to also, like, let's say there's like a group of people right here. Like, let's say right here, this Covenant Guard and these two NPCs back here, actual players, and we need to stun them to save a life, or to, or we know that a Dawnbreaker in our group's coming in. So I can just streak through these guys, and it'll stun everyone here. Everyone in that path, it'll stun them. That way they can get hit with an easy Dawnbreaker and or a negate, all that good stuff. So that being said, let's take a look at our ultimate here. Now, I'm going to give you guys a bit of advice. If you're not running in a group, and by group I mean a group that has timed Dawnbreakers and timed Dawnbreakers with timed negates and timed ultimates. If you're not timing ultimates together, or if you're kind of, lone wolfing a little bit, doing some solo gameplay, whatever, even in a 1v1 situation, in my opinion, Onslaught is much, 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 much better than Dawnbreaker. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to go into Onslaught and why it's better than Dawnbreaker for single target, and not only single target, but just overall better PvP ultimate for PvP. Why? Holy shit, dude! Holy fuck! I'm going to go over why Onslaught is a better ultimate than Dawnbreaker for PvP. Now, the only time, in my opinion, and I think a lot of others' opinions after they watch this video, if they do, the only time Dawnbreaker is better is whenever, like I said, you're in a group that has timed ultimates. Now, Onslaught is not AoE, so if you have a timed negate going off with a time stun and the Dawnbreaker hits, great. That's all well and good. But Dawnbreaker is very inconsistent. If you're fighting on a slope, especially in open world Cyrodiil, you'll notice a lot of times, especially if you have a buff or a buff meter where you can see the enemy's buffs and debuffs, like, if you put a poison on them, you can see the poison. Dawnbreaker is supposed to add a dot, and I can't tell you how many times I've looked. I have gotten my Dawnbreaker ready, I've got my Alchemist up, I pop Alchemist, I pop Dawnbreaker, and because they're on a slight slope, or even sometimes when I knock them up in the air with Dizzy Swing, and they're up in the air and I Dawnbreaker them, they don't get any damage, and they don't get any dot. And they're not able to cleanse it, and I've watched before and specifically looked to see if they try to cleanse it or anything. No cleanse, nothing. They just don't get any damage, and they don't get the dot, and essentially your ult is wasted. Onslaught fixes that problem by a landslide, because this is a self-cast ability. Like, you cast it on the player. It's kind of like a what's it kind of like? I don't know what it's kind of fucking like. It's kind of unique itself. But basically, it can't be missed, but it can be dodged, and it can be I think it can be blocked. But I know it can be dodged. And like, so if you cast this mid, like if you cast this and they're like, you start a roll dodge, a lot of times it'll miss. So you need to time this with your CC. If you pop Alchemist, so let's go ahead and see what our Alchemist is like. Fully buffed. We have 3,500 weapon damage, and this is hitting for 18.4k. Our Dizzy Swing's hit for 15k. So basically, you hit Dizzy Swing, and then while they're knocked up in Dizzy Swing, you hit them with Onslaught, and then a Reverse Slice. Or Reverse Slice. If you hit 50%, you hit them with Reverse Slice maybe once, twice, and then use Onslaught and kill them, and then refund the cost of Onslaught. and get your ulti back. Now, the thing to note about Onslaught as well, it's especially good in this meta because it ignores all resistances. Not only does it ignore all the resistances, it gives you these resistances back. So if you ignore 25,000 resistances, let's look and see what we have right now. Let's buff Buffalo first. So 20k. If we ignore 25k resistances, that is going to give us a total of 45k physical and spell resistance, and that is going to make us tanky as fuck. That's basically like we have 5 blood spawns going off at once, stacking. That's essentially what that is. To put that in perspective for you, know how good blood spawn is for for tanks and everything. That's exactly the equivalent of about 4.5 blood spawns going off at the same time. That's how strong this ulti is. And you read here, killing an enemy with the ability immediately refunds the ultimate cost. So if you use it as an execute, like I was saying, you can get the reverse slices in and then execute with Onslaught, you get the ulti back. That's very detrimental because when you're fighting in an outnumbered situation, and I'll show you one of the reasons. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why I prefer Onslaught right here. And we're going to go ahead and forget the fact that Dawnbreaker can miss, and Dawnbreaker is very inconsistent. We're going to forget that part. We're just going to forget that part. Just compare them as 2 ultimates. So let's say there's a group, and I'm going to channel them through this right here, and I'm alone or whatever, right? So I drop all my stuff. I get my couch drops. Everything's going on here, and I'm fully buffed up, right? So I got my alchemist and everything, and there's a group coming right through here. And the first guy I see, I need to kill him instantly. So I, hit him with the. Right now I'm pressing 3. I'm getting my uppercut ready. The uppercut hits him. He goes up. I use my ultimate on him. I onslaught him, and then I reverse slice. He's dead. So where does that leave us? Well, with Dawnbreaker, you would just have killed him. You wouldn't get anything else from it. Well, if you killed him with onslaught, not only do you have your ultimate back, but you also have his resistances, so you're very tanky. It's going to make that group that you were just fighting and it's trying to kill you, it's going to make it much harder for them to kill you. What this equates to? It equates to you staying alive a little bit more. That equates to you getting more of these Engine Guardian procs. That equates to you being able to Dark Deal and slide around like a slippery fucking snake a little bit more. And people are not going to expect the damage that you're going to do with this. Trust me, whenever you hit someone with this fucking build, you're going to be like, holy shit, that guy really just deleted me off the face of the earth. He really just insta-killed me. And they're not going to expect the tankiness because no one, for whatever reason, everyone does not like this ultimate. I do not understand why everyone just hates this ultimate. They jerk off Dawnbreaker like it's the best thing since sliced bread, whenever really, this ultimate is much better for a 1v1 scenario. And whenever you're fighting outnumbered, you realize that line of sighting, you're trying to get a little small window where you can fight someone one-on-one and kill them and then move on and do the same thing to the next people. That's exactly what you're trying to do. And with this ultimate, you can easily kill people like that. If they're not blocking this, they will die to it instantly. They will die to it. There's no other way around it. So, with that being said, that's the reason I use it for being outnumbered. Now, if I'm taking it, I didn't ask you. Okay, I did not ask you. Also, let's say you want to go take Fort Ash's lumber mill. So you go and you get Fort Ash's lumber mill, and you want to go take it, and you get there, and you're having problems, tanking or whatever, or there's a Nightblade there, and he's kind of, fucking you over. He's waiting, till you get kind of low, and he kills you. Well, with this ultimate, you can execute the mobs there, and for whatever reason, the mobs have 30k resistances. So, and it's really easy to execute the mages with this, so it makes the Menders really squishy, because they just instantly die to this ability. Like a crit rush, an uppercut, and this will kill them. It'll refund the cost of this, so you can just do it again and again. And what that does is it gives you 50k resistances. Like, it legitimately gives you 50,000 resistances. So if that Nightblade were to jump in on you, you're not going to die to him. With your 23 or 2600 crit resist with your 50k physical resist and spell resist, anybody that jumps in on you right there, you're gonna have some time. You're gonna have some time to react, or if not, kill them. If you're in a good position, if your health is up, your stamina's up, you're gonna be able to kill them. That's essentially what I'm trying to get here. Because they're not gonna expect the tankiness. On the back bar, we're running Resolving Vigor just for an extra heal. Shuffle for the immobilization removal. So DK Talons gets removed by this. Encase gets removed by this. Any slows, any snares gets removed by this. Very, very, very strong. Dark Deal, obviously, like I was saying, you can convert your Magicka if your Entry Guardian procs Magicka, and it doesn't have to proc it, obviously, but you can get health and stamina back from this ability. Very, very good. But one thing to know, I would use it while you're line of sighting though, because people can interrupt you doing it, and it's a bit annoying because it can really mess up your stamina management if you do get interrupted. Because you don't have the CC break, and then it goes all downhill from there. Hurricane for the AoE damage, the minor expedition, and the major ward, and major resolve. All that's good stuff. Your major buffs, you really need those for sure. Crit Surge, we're not running this for the weapon damage, but we are running this for the heal. Just for the every time you crit, you get 3,200 health back. It's just nice. On our Overload bar, we're running Razor Caltrops. Shuffle in case we get snared and we kind of need to make we need to maneuver around a little bit. Dark Deal just in case we need a little bit of health or stam. Rearming Trap, that way we can kind of set the perimeter. Like I said, if we're channeling a group of people through this here, you can set down because you're gonna be very fast in this build, so you're gonna be able to get places that people would not be able to get to before you. That makes any sense. So you'll get here first, and then you'll place down your trap, place down your caltrops, and then you cast your buffs up and wait for them to come around. And the first person hits that trap, you can kill them instantly. We're also running rapid maneuvers here. Rapid maneuvers is pretty cool if my horse was trained. See, I don't have a lot of horse. I would be running streak here probably. Or in case, both those are pretty good. This is kind of a slot you can mess around with. If you don't find that you need shuffle here, you can also mess around here. So these 2 and 5 here are definitely shuffle and rapids are definitely interchangeable if you want to. I would definitely though keep rearming and razor on and caltrops because they're just too good to pass up. I mean, too good not to pass up. So, yeah, also, if you don't want to run Overload, or if you need a negate, you can actually run negate instead of Overload. But I like my Overload bar, gives you a little bit more abilities, all that good stuff. Let's check now on the CP here. Went 16 into Blessed, 90 into Mighty, 41 into Piercing, and 40 into Precise Strikes. Now you don't have to go this many into Precise Strikes because you don't have a lot of crits, so you can kind of mess with these if you want to. These are not perfect, by the way, they're just whatever I put together, and they seem to be working pretty well. I went 37 into Resistant to make up for the Ancient Guardian loss, and have that one piece. 90 into Hardy, 30 into Elemental Defender, and 30 into Thick Skinned. If I were you, I would have about 70 into Hardy and 50 into Elemental Defender. That seems to be what everyone runs, but I went a little bit more into Hardy just because I was running into a lot more stand builds. So 100 into Warlord, none into Regen because we have no Regen in this build anyway, so it would be going to waste. 80 into Tumbling and 7 into Shadow Warriors for a little bit blocking. The reason we're going 80 into Tumbling, there's a good reason for this. Now, remember how I said you're going to be getting to places that people wouldn't be getting to you, first? There's actually a very good reason for that. Now, this is a full heavy armor build, not a full heavy armor build, but a really close to full heavy armor build. It's a 5-piece heavy armor build. So you wouldn't expect to be able to roll dodge a lot. But with the bow passive, hasty retreat, you gain major expedition for 5 seconds after you use roll dodge. Basically, this will make you very fast, very elusive. If you were to cast Shuffle, I would cast Shuffle and then Roll Dodge, because not only are you going to be removing these snares, but you're going to be running faster. You can have Major Expedition and Minor Expedition up at the same time, so you get 40% extra move speed, plus your Orc passives. I am an Orc, by the way. This is the best race for this, in my opinion. Best race is definitely Orc for Stamina Sorcerer. But you get this Roll Dodge bonus, and like you can just Roll Dodge for days. In this build with 80, you really just can. You can just roll dodge forever. A lot of roll dodging in this build, to be honest with you. So many roll dodges though we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6 roll dodges out of your complete standbar. That's pretty good for heavy armor. That's actually very fucking good for heavy armor. So 6, and then not counting the ones you dark deal, or if you get a stand proc from your engine guardian. Stand proc from your engine guardian will give you 2 to 3 extra roll dodges there. So guys, I guess that's about it. I think I've covered everything. I'm sorry if the mic sounds really bad. I'm having some problems with it, but I'm trying to get this build out to you guys because it's a very, very strong build, and this is my hand-printed build, so I wanted to get it put out. Alright guys, love you guys, take care, take it easy. Late Merry Christmas, I don't know when this will go up, but I hope you guys had a good Christmas, and I know I did, I got my computer upgraded a little bit. And hey guys, later, take care.